Well, happy Thanksgiving. Today's November 24th, and you're looking at a 2001 Taylor 414. If you can see all that down in there. Yeah, that has Robert Taylor's signature on it, not Bob. Anyhow, this guitar has been rehydrated with my super expensive hydration. I used an old bag that had some, I don't know, tortillas or something in it, and cut some holes in it and put a bag in there, put a rag in there, and that's my rehydration unit. What's happened with this guitar, again, this saddle and the center of the guitar should have a bit of a bow in it like this, which raises this saddle bridge up slightly. So I'm going to use a tool here called a Straightedge. Paying attention to this side, if I rock it, you can see how much rock there is in that. What's happened is this guitar was adjusted while it was dried out. The action now has gotten very high here at the 12th fret. You know, I'm wanting 5/64, and after rehydrating this guitar, this action here at the 12th fret from the bottom of the string to the top of the fret is almost 8/64. Way too much. Here's the ruler that I'm using for making those measurements. You can buy one of these. I'm going to clean up the neck. I am going to, the beautiful thing about Taylor's is they have a bolt-on neck. What this guitar now needs is a shim in the neck. I need to tilt this neck backwards, so I'm going to take the neck and tilt it this direction slightly. I'm going to use about a 64th inch thick shim. I'm going to try that, bolt it back on, and see what my measurements then read. We'll go from there. There's a little bit of, let's see. Yeah. Little bit tall right there, this fret. So I'm going to have to deal with that eventually, but I'm going to shim this neck first to see if I can get the action down here without having to do any filing on the nut. I'd rather not remove any material. Just want to give you a little shot inside the guitar here, and it'll be a little dark, but right there where it says Taylor, underneath that piece of paper, there is, believe it or not, a couple of bolts you go through that hold the neck on. It's one of the genius designs of Robert Taylor in acoustic guitars. I know he's not the first that bolted on a neck on an acoustic, but his design has been flawless. It's part of the reason why I purchased this guitar. Well, so there it is. The neck is off. Looks beautiful. No shim. It has a 0 shim in the slot right now. They sell shims from Taylor that you can buy, but I'm going to avoid doing that. I won't use any glue at all in this process. And while I have the neck off of here, I am going to give it a good polish and crowning. We just changed out the first 4 frets on this guitar, and you can see that the neck is pretty dirty, so I'm going to give it a good cleaning. Put a shim in our slot right here, and I'm hoping that when I do that, that'll get our neck angle correct, and I can set the action and intonation all correctly. Robert Taylor was a genius. And so I've got the neck back on it. I went ahead and waited to do the fret work until after I got the neck on there because of this new tool that I have. Which lets me crown these frets with the guitar neck on the guitar. Kind of get an idea. Hopefully this light is good. The frets are in pretty good shape. I'm just going to go ahead and hit them with some Never Dull. I'll clean up the fretboard. It's an ebony fretboard, completely pitch black. I'll oil it after I am done doing this cleaning and leveling. Hang in there. So I've just gotten done crowning the frets. What I'm hopeful for you to see here is the amount of material that has been taken off these frets. It's virtually nothing. I use a diamond file. The last file I ran over this was 300 grit. Need to polish them now. They all have a nice crown on them. Should play perfectly. And I'm just going to continue on. Time to hit them with some 6. So I have the neck back on it, of course. I polished the frets and treated the neck with the linseed oil, and hoping you can see the shine in those frets. They really looked beautiful, perfectly crowned. Treated the bridge and saddle area of the guitar with linseed oil. And I'm about to put strings back on this thing after shimming the neck. I put a 1/64 inch shim right here, and I added one in the top edge of this neck slot here also. What I'm hoping that does is, as an angle, it's pushing the neck down as the back of my hand is going down a little bit, so that I have a steeper angle. And we can take a look at that angle using a straight edge to the saddle, which I've lost. Hang on a minute. So I found the saddle. You can see that it's a little dirty, worn over the years. It sits in there like that, very simply. And what we do is we take a straight edge and run it off the end of the guitar neck to the front edge of the saddle, and we know that the strings are above the last fret by measuring with our straight edge, and we can see that as a level we have about maybe 2 to 3 30-seconds of an inch from the bottom of the rule to the top of the saddle. So we should be pretty close to being at 5/64 here at the 12th fret. I can't get over the way those frets look, man. They just look awesome. And I want to remind you all that I work at Legrand Stereo Music, and this is the kind of work that I do on your guitar. So if you have a guitar that is being a beater to play with, even if it's a cheap, junky guitar, it doesn't matter. We always get them set up better than they are right now. If you're having trouble with yours, bring them to me. I did a couple setups yesterday for a couple of really great guitar players, and as far as I know, they're happy. I haven't gotten a call saying that it sucks. I'm going to get some strings on this, and we'll check our string height and see what's happening. So we have new strings. I would precisely right. The string height here at the 12th fret, between the bottom of the low E string and the top of the 12th fret, is exactly 5/64 of an inch. That's exactly where I like it. The neck relief is perfect. I have 12 thousandths of an inch. I'm more at like 11 thousandths, but I like it a little flatter. That is certainly not a rule etched in stone. You can set that up how you like. I just have a very small amount of relief here, about 12 thousandths. Here at the 5th, I had to do nothing to the saddle, and the guitar is completely back together again. This is my own guitar, and it's needed a little bit of work done. It's been bugging me that the string height was so high, and also that I had rehydrated the guitar. It created a big bubble here in the middle, which is they're supposed to have. These tops are not designed to be perfectly flat. They do have a radius to them, very similar to the fretboard. You can see how the saddle has a radius like this, which matches the radius of the fretboard. You can see that radius right there. Oh, look at the glisten of those frets. Pretty awesome. So the guitar's sounding great. It's in perfectly good tune. There's 0 fret buzz anywhere on this guitar, and the action is just a dream. I leave the strings on the guitar neck just in case I have to pull them off. Had I had to pull this neck one more time, it would have been really easy to put these strings back on. Can't wait to play this thing. If you have a guitar that you need worked on, bring it to me at Legrand Stereo Music. Ask for me. I'll be happy to set your guitar up and maybe hook you up with the directions for building one of these. It's high tech, man. High tech. Peace.